Soviet animation has its own identity, shaped by economic, political, and social factors. Among numerous films based on the same works, you can often instantly tell which ones are Soviet, but some stand out particularly strongly among the rest for various reasons. A moral horror for lazy kids. The protagonist skips helping his grandma and enters a world where robots do everything for him. They feed him tasty food daily and show cartoons from morning till night. The dream turns nightmare when he sees a bloated giant monster in the mirror instead of himself. In the most popular Soviet cartoon series, well, Just You Wait, an analog of Tom and Jerry, the main hooligan character was supposed to be voiced by the cult Soviet bard Rebel. The authorities banned his participation, but in the first episode the character defiantly whistles his band song.
Парня в горы тяни, рискни, не бросай одного его.
The full-length Soviet animated film, The Little Hump-Backed Horse, so impressed Walt Disney that he showed it to his artists as training material. Directed by Ivan Ivanov-Vano, who made versions in 1947 and 1975, it is based on the 1834 fairy tale. While both editions share the same episode development and plot, they feature varied animation and character actions. A cartoon from the 60s. The animation style was inspired by the British cartoon Yellow Submarine, named after the famous song by the Beatles group. It was shown as part of the film magazine Merry Carousel. Later it became an independent project. A boy is curious about what's inside a broken music box, falls asleep and fixes it in his sleep. Then a musical number begins with all the elements of the box who in their song debate who among them is the most important. At the end of the number, the box breaks again and the music becomes louder, more tense and gradually fades out, as if an audio cassette got stuck. The children's series about the kind cat Leopold started as a depressive and cruel thriller. In the pilot episodes, the cat takes a rage drug to cruelly revenge the mice and becomes invisible to scare them. An alien intelligence tries to interact with earthly organisms by taking the form of objects familiar to them. An artist goes out into nature to paint a picture. By some coincidence, a UFO lands nearby and an alien crawls out of it. Its form is extremely unusual. The alien can take the form of any object. Contact must happen even though the artist runs away. The alien changes shapes and colors and at the end tries to sing along to the melodies from the film The Godfather, which the man was humming. La, 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 la. A cartoon about the primordial world, how life originated on Earth and what harsh survival rules there were. Only little elephant, Fantik, tries to be kind to all the beasts, but no one understands him. Besides a strange creature, Shatuska Kutusha hunts him and wants to eat him. Almost the entire cartoon takes place in dark jungles, with their silhouettes highlighted by glow. Bearanity is a strange but funny cartoon created in 1988. It consists of dreams of different content but equally absurd for a bear whom a pesky mosquito doesn't let sleep peacefully. In the first dream, beavers are building a dam, but one of them dreams of becoming a bird and interferes with the construction process. In the second, a stork mistakenly brings a bunny to a duck mom. In the third dream, several animals discover in the forest a cube that appeared out of nowhere with an infinite amount of food. As a result, the animals stop hunting each other, leading the world to apocalypse. The fantastic horror Wind from 1988 was clearly inspired by the Chernobyl nuclear power plant disaster. In it, a military base duty officer becomes a witness to strange events. Radiation formed as a result of a nuclear war from the Earth's surface begins to penetrate the bunker. The world narrows down to a missile range visible from the command post window, from which there is no exit. For the military watchman, the attraction doesn't stop, checking documents of incoming and outgoing people. The people around him turn into creepy mutants, and from outside, the wind insistently demands entry. A very strange wind. Censorship was falling, so animators created strange films. The plot shows the life of a simple family. There is a husband and a wife. They do strange household chores. Suddenly, a stranger appears in the family, who opens the husband's eyes to the fact that his wife is a chicken. The film has a mountain of interpretations and explanations, some stranger than others. Birds find some tasty food and make a balanced decision to get to it. The strangeness and at the same time the charm of the cartoon is given by the simple plot, limited light palette and unique character stylistics. Blue Meteorite is a short film first shown in the film magazine Mary Carousel. At first glance, nothing unusual. One could say it's a cartoon about a future dream to strive for all life. But the loud synthetic sound accompaniment, oppressive music, and the very appearance of the meteorite near Earth make one experience discomfort, most likely due to anticipation of the danger of the planet colliding with a huge meteorite. The cartoon is based on Armenian folktales. A boy and his grandfather are fishing when they catch an ancient jug. When they open it, an ancient sea king is released. He locks the boy with him to make him the heir to the sea throne. For this, the king teaches the boy to command the sea elements, sink ships to enrich himself with human treasures. A black humor puppet cartoon where a hyperactive puppet boy goes for a walk and literally loses all parts of his body along the way. Neighbors had to bring pieces to his mom. A cult cartoon that received more than 35 international awards. Unique revolutionary technologies were used in its creation. The Hedgehog sets off to the bear cub to spend the night culturally together, drink tea with jam, count stars, and have philosophical conversations. On the way he gets into fog and gets lost. Wandering, the hedgehog sees how the fog has transformed the familiar forest and its inhabitants. A beautiful cartoon based on the motives of the fairy tale of the same name by Wilhelm Hauff. The Caliph is bored in his palace and seeks entertainment. By pure chance, he acquires a powder that allows him to turn into any animal, bird, or fish, to transform there and back. One must say a spell, however. In the acquired form, one cannot love, otherwise the magic word is forgotten. During one transformation into a stork, the Caliph breaks the prohibition, losing the ability to return to human form. Famous for his deep works, Fyodor Kitruk in 1973 creates the cartoon island of little people, who cannot escape from a tiny uninhabited island no matter what. He calls for help from small boats and large iron ships alike, but he finds help in another small little man washed ashore, just like himself. The film received numerous awards both in the USSR and in Europe. Two-part sci-fi cartoon, Geona Vampires, based on the story by Gennady Tishchenko, Vampire Genomius. The plot tells how Inspector Yanin is sent to the distant planet Geona to figure out how to stop the local inhabitants. Vampires resembling pterodactyls who drink colonists' blood and infect them with an unknown disease. But after landing, one of them bites him, after which Yanin feels bad and his body begins to mutate. Hallucinations begin in the protagonist's ward. Long black hair grows on his hands and membranes appear between his fingers. Then dark green shoots literally grow from his body and disappear back. The scene is detailed enough to create discomfort when watching. This moment was shown in the 1993 episode, Well, Just You Wait, 25 Years, which was very rarely broadcast on TV and included in DVD editions. At the beginning, the elderly main characters come on stage. The audience applauds them, but then it turns out it was a prank. The wolf and hare appear before us in their usual form. Then, after finishing the performance, they run out into the street. The wolf wants to eat the hare, but the clock strikes midnight and the hare turns into a horrific werewolf who intends to eat the wolf. This process is shown very detailed. The wolf screams in horror and suddenly wakes up. It was just a dream, but on the TV that the wolf was watching, an evil werewolf from a horror movie is also residing, as if hinting that the horrors aren't over yet. The hare transformation scene is a parody of Michael Jackson's Thriller clip. In 1987, the famous actor Anatoly Papanov, the voice of the wolf from Well, Just You Wait, dies. Naturally, with his death, the cartoon series itself ended. However, in the 90s, animators decided to revive Well, Just You Wait and used archival recordings of Papanov's voice. Not only the new episodes themselves raise not the funniest themes, but they also use the voice of a dead man, which, however, is now the norm. Kele in Chukchi mythology is a collective name for evil spirits. The cartoon is based on a fairy tale about girls captured by a scary black brute who isn't very good at playing musical instruments. The strangest thing in the cartoon concerns just one moment. When the girls return home, they are only scolded, but no one is interested in where they were. Chukchi music adds more mystery to the story. There Will Come Soft Rains is an adaptation of Ray Bradbury's storytelling about a future in which post-apocalypse has come. In the house of an ordinary American family, a robot assistant helps people gather for breakfast. But all people died from a nuclear explosion that happened the day before. A scene is demonstrated from sleep capsules. The robot tries to get people out, but instead a dark silhouette that crumbles upon lifting the bed. At the end, in On Christmas, the robot, tired of its meaningless existence, self-destructs. In 1912, director Vladislav Sterovich shot a rather interesting film, Revenge of the Cinematographic Operator, where puppet animation was used with real dead beetles. Viewers were shocked by this and thought the director had indeed managed to tame live insects. There are scenes of sex, infidelity, and violence. According to the poem's plot, three sons pester their father about what Potets is, and he, resorting to allegory, tries for a long and confusing time to convey to them a rather simple idea. Potets is the cold sweat that appears on the forehead of the deceased. The poem, whose creation was prompted by Vidensky by his father's death, absorbed many political, historical, psychological subtexts, making its direct reading impossible. The film was shown on TV only a couple of times, and after angry viewer complaints, it was shelved at the film studio. But in the 2000s, someone managed to find this film, digitize it, and upload it to the internet. Many will agree that Soviet animation is not like Disney's. It can feature serious adult themes, as well as scenes of cruelty and violence, and depressive complex themes prepare children for the fact that not all their dreams will come true. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this, I'll make another video about Soviet animation.